Alright, so this shit's super annoying, but I knew eventually it was going to get to this point. Let me turn that down just a bit so I can explain what's going on. We got this Mythrax kill last night. I went to post it on YouTube. Everything was copyrighted and all weird about shit. So we're just going to go back over it with non-copyrighted music until I get the rest of the studio shit set up here and I can start doing my own tracks to cover this. So I don't have to send out email after email or keep getting cease and desist emails. So I'm going to play back the footage of just before the kill and just after and kind of just outline exactly what we were doing, what changes we made to get to that point, and do it with music that's non-copyrighted so I can actually throw this up on YouTube to show everybody how everything went down. So let me hit the play button here. We'll get back into it. We just got our final wipe. Let's go to source. This is the wipe right before. I believe we actually had people that were trying to come back across, and we got 2 or 3 people. We might have actually gotten 3 people stuck in an orb on the transition back from being over on the rock. Now, just so people don't know, the Mythrax fight on Mythic was pretty easy. Essentially, it's don't get hit by big, obvious-ass purple beams, and then when it's time to stack adds, when it's time to deal with the add phase in phase 2, there are 2 rocks that you need to be standing near or on. The first one is near, the second one is on, to spawn everything in a very manageable location. So the fight, in theory, sounds pretty simple. The add focus, the movements, and making sure that you don't get people caught in those orbs, so kind of baiting some of the mechanics to be more manageable, is a little bit of a pain in the ass. This sucks not being able to hear the calls, though. That's the only thing that really bugs me about doing this over. I should have been better about this right off the get-go. That was my fault. Now, up to this point, we had had a 10% wipe, a 2% wipe, a 1% wipe. We were really, really close. And then we jumped in and put it down. And I kind of talked through, from a BM hunter at least, because my job's pretty easy, exactly what happened. Pre-pot on the drop, get back to your location. The bait weak ore is saying, hey, we got to get in there. I didn't do that because I'm bad and I was late on it. So I was just praying that I didn't see the little circle pop up. Rest of cooldowns get launched. There's Bestial Wrath. There's PI. Now we're going nuts, full beast cleave mode on the small ad. It's important to get the small ad dead. You have to get him to 50% and he jumps back on Mythrax. Apparently he lives on Mythrax. And you'll see him after he gets past 50%, bloop, right back onto the boss. That's a full beast cleave phase for us. For Beastmaster hunters that aren't me, this fight's probably awesome because you're in beast cleave the entire time. So you get a lot of time to just open smack the hell out of everything. Imminent Ruin's on me. I'm going to get in close to make sure that the bait happens. Come back out. Hit my survival instincts to take 20% less damage. And accidentally got clipped by the beam. Which ended up working out in our favor. A couple of mistakes from some of us that have good bounce back mechanics means that the tanks can go out and grab a couple extra orbs. Other ad is up. I'm going to sidestep one mechanic. Get over. Start the beast cleave rotation. And get hemmed up with an orb, got pulled in, literally got pulled right into an orb. At this point, I am super frustrated because I didn't have any orbs to pull before that. And I'm like, oh my god, okay, so this is not going to be one of those pulls where I parse very well, but it doesn't matter. As you can see me standing directly in that beam. My whole focus was just going to be to stay alive, do as much damage as I could, and not mess anybody else up. Because I had all but given up on looking good on paper after this fight. That was another bait. I was out of my cooldown window, so I was like, you know what? I'm just going to save it. Move to the back, see if I can bait the orb. Mythrax is phasing. We have to stay, again, out this direction, so it's easier for the tanks to come from one side to the other. And then we got unlucky, and it ended up all the way on the outside, on the side that we're running to. So now the beam is incoming. Select target, start moving. The beam is going to go directly where everybody is running from. I knew I was going to get chopped, so it was just a turtle situation so I could stay alive. The other ads came up, turtle comes off, full beast cleave again. Just do as much damage as I can in that short window. Jump back to the rock, wait for the next beam. We killed the ad extremely fast, smoothed everything out. Now we're waiting for the tank to come back across. And that lane right there is directly through why it's important that we made sure that we were very careful about baiting some of those orbs, because you can make it super cancer on the other tank to try to navigate through that. We got it there in time. The ads are going to spawn right now. Back to full beast cleave. Do as much damage as humanly possible, which we did. Get out of the way for the beam. Now this is the point where as soon as that beam is done, everybody else is going to peel out of this. They're going back to their spots. It was up to me and a couple of the other guys identified, hey, nuke down the rest of those shake ads. Like, keep beast cleave up, try and nuke it a little bit, make sure you're not screwing everybody else. Bait it in. Here comes the little ad, back to full beast cleave. I cast that way too early for my CDs. We have an orb on the exact opposite side. So again, now we're just full beast cleave into this action, trying to make sure that we're getting the ad down, getting some damage blood over on Mythrax. It's a double beam my direction. Did I get hit by one of these? No, I didn't. Ad is back in, switch back to Mythrax, and then it's essentially the exact same thing. Everybody's staying spread out, staying in their quadrants, trying to maintain the integrity, so we're keeping all the orbs as spread out as possible so we can get back to Diamond, or past Diamond, up to Moon to get to our first rock. Literally the entire fight. Up to this point in the video, you have seen the entire fight. The hard part comes with when you have to repeat it. There's another bait. Everybody came in. I don't know what I was looking to click there. Back to the ad. I start the beast cleave rotation again. Took a punch in the face. Thank God for coastal healing potions. When we pull our guys out, we were literally pulling the second they got into an orb with our DKs. Oh, I thought I was dead there. 100%. So when the orbs come up, we have two DKs. One was pulling from, as their cooldowns came off. Every time you pull somebody out, you take damage. There's a couple of times, even on this rotation, where when we pulled those, it was right after people had taken a big, like, essence shear. There was a little bit of a mix-up when it came to positioning. So a lot of us spent most of the fight in this yellow area. Nothing to do with our healers, but over time, the damage just stacks up. And I've successfully, right there, like I said, we baited the orbs as far back as humanly possible. Wait for those guys to pull us. And if they can't get to it, you just sit in there because you don't take any damage for that. You're not effectively helping the fight, but you don't take any damage. Back over the rock. This rock you actually had to stand on. Everybody standing on said rock is going to populate all the Visions of Madness right there on top of it. You can tell somebody didn't make it up on the rock because one is a little further out. It's fine, no big deal. That's just a tab target for us. I did get over to that, make sure that Beast Cleave was up, and continue to try to fire on every single ad that I possibly could. Back to the same thing over again. Here's the second ad. I'm gonna run back through. I did a no-go and took some of those orbs and the tanks needed it. That was my bad. It's because I'm bad. Adjust the camera. 3, 2, 1. Now the Visions of Madness are up. Back to full Beast Cleave. I was literally saving almost every cooldown that I had for either the opening pull when we had the first ad pop up, or right here. And this ad's gonna go fall down like a ton of bricks. As I'm walking through, my ad is gonna continue to punish the rest of these smaller ads. I don't have Cheetah up yet, so let's just get back to our spots, jump in for the bait, make sure that we get that little ad in there. It did what it needed to. I think we had 2 people. See, there's still a Vision of Madness out there too, and I don't think I could get to it. There's our Lust. No, look at that. Killwin jumped out there and took care of it himself. Warriors all the way, buddy. Jesus. So the Lust has been popped. You're going to see the first ad just annihilate. Now, you have an option here. I have Imminent Ruin, so I'm standing further away from everybody to try not and get everybody messed up. The more damage that you do, more damage the closer you are to the group for that. So now we're all, I'm literally, and you can see it based on my face and the ridiculous hoodie that I wear when I raid for some of that I got for Christmas from my mom. You can see the look on my face. I keep looking at my health like, man, I can't get ahead. Because my stacks are at 8 and everybody's getting pulled out of these at different times. But this is a good spot where if one of your non-BD damage guys gets stuck in one of the orbs, let him chill. Because every time you pull somebody out, it does damage. Now we're trying to keep as many people alive, more or less on a conserve phase. I hit turtle so I can get to my next cooldown phase. The boss is at 2%. We know that it's dead. Pop him and let it fly. And you can't tell, but there is a massive roar that boss is finally dead, and we actually get to see Gahun this time. It's been since Warlords of Draenor on, I believe, either right at Black Hand or right into HFC, since I've gotten the opportunity to actually get a cutting edge for a tier. Now, we met these guys from Dadbod, which are now our guys, and Puff would correct me if I said otherwise. But we met these guys way late in the expansion, so we got a really late jump on getting coordination together, like getting our group to function as the group that we needed to get to this point. So essentially we've killed every boss after Mother in a month and 3 weeks, almost 2 months. We've made a lot of progress. Now I know there's been lots of nerfs. I know that it's not anywhere near as hard as some of the guys like Nerfed or Vodkas or anybody else did while they were pushing through and killed everything. But for this being the first time that we've had a group like this that actually wants to push that content for a very long time, it makes us feel pretty stoked about this. As long as we can get slugged down, we'll extend to 3 days next week if we really, really think we're going to get that. But we're hoping to get CE, then instantly turn around and jump right into Desire Lore for the new raids. I realize everybody's going to complain about how the game's kind of dying and everybody's just really sour about the state of World of Warcraft. But I can tell you right now from a Raider's perspective, especially for those of us that have fought this roster boss, because of how ass the community has been when it comes to wanting to do really hard content, this is great. We are having a good time. Killing those bosses and hearing my headset just buzz because everybody is screaming that we just spent that much time on a boss and it's dying. That's what I love about WoW, and that's what I missed. And we are excited and motivated to get to the next tier with this group of guys and push as much content as we can and try to win the game. So, for the content aspect, is the game a little bit boring? Possibly. But for those of us that still can get a group of people together and still want to play this game as a group, as a whole, and accomplish stuff like this, nah, it's alright. And we are having a great time. I am DJ Soundstorm. Our guild is Dadbod. We are on the server Zuljin on US servers. We're going to keep killing bosses. We're going to keep going through the motions and get this CE. And we are going to be ready to make Desire Lore the raid tier that we've all been waiting for in terms of getting into that race and trying to ladder ourselves up a little bit. Thank you guys for tuning in. If there's any other stuff this week that you guys for the Twitch would like to see, then let us know. Tonight, actually, since I did tape this tomorrow, is going to be our drunk first-person shooter night. We'll probably do some Destiny 2. But stay locked in the channel. Hit the subscribe button. And I'll make sure to keep putting up content that I'm either so bad at, it's just laughable, or it's fun to see how some of these games actually work and see where some of the end game actually is for. Because we're having a blast and we hope you guys do too. Thanks a bunch. We'll see you guys soon.